Welcome to CLS Boxing Fact Judgmental Fact. There's just this fact. David vs. David. David Morrell vs. David Benavidez. Who win this fight and why? It's also one of the best fights also. It's one of those fights you can proper get it right. It's like it's a 50-50 fight. David Morrell is dangerous, undefeated. David Benavidez is dangerous, undefeated. But David Benavidez is well known because he's been there for some years. And David Morrell, I think, is younger than David Benavidez. But they are both dangerous fighters. They can turn this fight into something else. They are both powerful, strong, quick. It's a fight whereby whoever wins that fight, it's not gonna be easy for Canelo to continue ducking. If David Morrell win against Benavidez, there's no way Canelo can make excuses to duck David Morrell. If David Benavidez win that fight, there's no way Canelo can continue ducking and making funny excuses. If David Benavidez goes there and knock out David Morrell, who should David Benavidez fight at 168 except Canelo? I don't think there's any opponent left for David Benavidez to fight at 168 if he's not fighting Canelo next after David Morrell. Or if Morrell wins. That is why I'm saying this fight is a 50-50 fight. It can go either way. It can be David Benavidez fight or David Morrell's fight. These guys can win. It's not like an obvious fight where we see Tank vs Ryan. We already know who's gonna win that fight before the fight even begins. Okay, Canelo vs Caleb Plant. It's not those kind of fights. It's like Benavidez vs. It's like Bivol vs BTBF. It's those kind of fights whereby you cannot say who's going to win this fight. It's like that. But whoever wins here, who will they fight if Canelo decides to duck them and make excuses not to fight them? If Canelo says, I don't choose them, make a new excuse not to fight David Morrell or David Benavidez, whoever win that fight, who should they face after that at 168? Let's just be honest about it. You guys can explain better. You guys can talk to me and tell me who they should face. Because I believe that whoever wins this fight deserves a title shot, because it's going to be number one Metondori for whoever holding the belt at 168, and currently it's Canelo. So, you guys, what do you think? What do you think? Canelo should continue ducking Benavidez, or if David Morrell won that fight, Canelo must make excuse not to fight the winner between David Morrell and David Benavidez. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. This is one of those fights you will love to see. You will love to go and watch the fight live, because you know it's not an obvious fight. It's a fight whereby you want to see what's gonna happen. I think I would love to go see one of the guys doing the best and how they did it. So I'm only hoping that this fight is going to be the best and nice fight ever. I think the guys will put on the show. It's unpredictable fight as well. One of the best. These are the most... It's gonna be one of the most celebrated fights as well. David Morrell vs David Benavidez. DD. Just call the fight DD. All I wish for is for them to do the best. And the best... And people must stop this narrative that if you didn't knock someone, the fight was not good. The fight wasn't good enough. This thing must come to an end. People must understand that boxing it's not all about knockout. And it's hard to take someone out of the ring, because these guys have been training for so many years. So many years to avoid being knocked out. Okay? For so many years to avoid being knocked out. If someone knocks someone out, most of the time it's because of the mistake they do, or they didn't train as hard as the other fighter. Because knocking someone, if you go look the history of David Benavidez, how long he have been in a ring, you will understand that knocking this guy is going to be hard for you, even if you can touch him. But the aim for the boxers is not to get hit. So if the knockout doesn't come, do not go with perspection and go with perspection that says he didn't do well because he didn't knock someone. Knockout is not a boxing. as in like overall. Boxing, its point, that is why we have judges. Unfortunately, we don't have fair judges, but we have judges who should judge fair. But unfortunately, that's not what we have. We have people who judge unfair. So my point is, try to remove the mindset that if you're not knocking out someone, I know knockout is one of the ultimate win. If someone wins with knockout, it's done. But try not to look for knockout in fights and understand that this is part of boxing skill set. Like the likes of Fred. Fred was good by not getting hit. He can hit you the whole 1 to 12 without getting hit. So it's boxing, you know. We must stop the narrative that if you're not knocking someone out, you're not the best. The fight was boring. For me personally, I think people must understand boxing is just about skill. Who's doing what? Are you good at defending? If you're good at defending, hit and don't get hit. That is the purpose of fighters. They don't want to be. That is why when someone hits you hard and several times without you hitting back or being able to block yourself, the referee jumps in and stop the fight, because the aim is to protect the fighter and the fighter's aim is to protect themselves. That's why I'm saying, just because the fight didn't end with knockout doesn't mean the fight was boring, or doesn't mean the fight was not exciting, because boxing is not knockout. That is why it's not called knockout competition. It's called boxing. You go there inside the box and you box. You can win through decision. There can be disqualification, those laws, those things in there that will help you to go watch boxing without expecting knockout. Even if you expect but knockout doesn't come, do not feel like the fight wasn't good. If you watched the fight and you saw that this was an entertaining fight, that guy was able to beat this guy from 1 to 12, you can even say, I give him 8 out of 1 to 12, out of 1 to 12, give the other one 4. If that's how it played, that's other way of learning boxing. Say LS boxing facts. Let's judge this fact.